these minerals that he has because he simply doesn't have enough larvae.
Exactly, and let's just check out the energy of this queen. It is 172.
He has 2 queens.
He has 2 queens. He could be laying down like 7 creep tumors here. A little tip here is that you can use multiple creep tumors and they expand faster. So if you have 7, let's say over here, right here, then you could just, it would almost be instant, the creep expansion. So now we're seeing Chris, maybe
more stalkers.
More stalkers. Something.
Now let's see, does he have blink here?
No, he does not have blink, but he has caught up in the macro department. But he does need to move these probes out of the way. They're only harvesting out of 2, and he has like something like 23, almost 23 probes harvesting off of 2 mineral fields, and you can only really get 3 probes harvesting. So he should be moving out with some stalkers here. But right now, he should be moving out and killing these destructible rocks with his stalkers while they were kind of stagnant there. Wow, that is a lot of damage from those stalkers. Just killing
Mass stalkers is a pretty fantastic
build. But these mass hydralisks are almost
mass hydralisks and mass seedlings. This is a great unit composition by DuncanIdaho.
Exactly. And he is getting infestation pit,
and he's doing the exact same mistake that Chris is doing. He's using so many drones on one little patch. He could just be.
Yeah,
he needs to expand.
You need to watch for that.
Is so low.
You need to watch for that. And now more zerglings popping out of these larvae. But these stalkers are going to be taking them down. And now all he has is, wow, a lot of hydralisks and a lot of roaches. This is definitely an advantage for Zerg because they can just pump out more larvae if they need them. Protoss can do them to an extent, but now we have 8 gateways in Chris's base, and see all of these probes not mining anymore. This is something like, how much is that? 19 probes not doing a single thing. He could have definitely expanded over to this gold, and he would be getting so many more.
He still can. He still has 650 minerals. But look at this. Still, just because of that one expansion, Chris is still so far ahead in the income.
Exactly. And now Chris does have all of these gateways. How many gateways does he have? He does have 8 gateways, and he is producing out of all of them. This might just be because he ignores them for a little bit.
Or it might just be because
he does have 2 bases. And now he is finally moving the probes over here, but they aren't going to do much because, well, you can see them kind of flying everywhere because they're oversaturated. He has more than a perfect number for saturation is 30. He should definitely be moving out, trying to take out these destructible rocks.
Just remember that 30 is the perfect number for saturation, and
well,
now here
22 to 30. 22 is the minimum, 30 is the maximum.
Zerg is at a huge disadvantage right now because the stalkers are so much faster than the hydras off of creep.
And now we're seeing another expansion from DuncanIdaho. Very good, but like I said before, he should definitely.
And look at this: the drones are forced to long range mine back into their main.
Yeah, DuncanIdaho is in a really bad place right now because
I would even put the hatchery at his main.
He probably should have put his hatchery over here. Maybe he was a little worried that Chris does take this expansion over here. Something a little tidbit here is that just because an expansion is hidden, a smart opponent will put maybe like a pylon or an overlord or one burrowed zergling, that would be awesome, right underneath any kind of expansion source. So if you think about it this way, these stalkers and zealots will take more time to get over to the expansion. I got caught in this problem in the Risisng Cup. I moved my zealots out here to protect this expansion, and I kept my stalkers over here to protect my main base over here. And my zealots got spread out too far, and his immortals just killed my force of stalkers, and I lost the game because my zealots just took way too long to come back.
Now we have a low-level friend of ours named Fisk, who wins matches in his Silver League solely on map control.
Exactly.
He just takes those zerglings, burrows them,
or just places them. And then when an opponent like Chris here puts a really far expansion away from his base, when he's not using all his probes here, he should be doing that. But when he puts a really far expansion from his base, he takes complete advantage of Zerg's mobility and just basically kills the expansion, then runs back to his base. A loss of a lot of drones and 400 or so minerals.
I think this is going to be GG.
This is definitely DuncanIdaho. Good play from Chris. Could have been better. And like something to point out here is that you can definitely macro while you battle. Focus on macro. That is the main thing to focus on as a newer player is macro. You want to keep your minerals below 500 as much as possible. Don't focus on battles as much as much as you would like to think. Oh, I'm macroing. You don't know quite as much as you could about the game yet, and you don't know exactly how to micro. And macro is more important. I mean, you could beat pretty much any perfectly microed force with enough units. You could beat 3 Reapers with 100 Zerglings, despite the fact with 100 normal Zerglings, despite the fact that 3 Nitro Packed Reapers with 100 Zerglings, just because eventually your opponent cannot micro that much anymore. Kind of an extreme example, but macro is more important. You never want your minerals or gas to go above 500, just because you don't want them to. You'll think about it as units that you could have. These 1,680 minerals here
could be 16 more zealots.
Could be 16 more zealots.
10 more photon cannons if you want to be turtler.
Yeah. And I mean, he does have 2,208 gas here too, so he could make a lot of sentries, a lot of stalkers, or even air. Definitely something that would have caught him off guard here is burrowed roaches, because burrowed roaches through a Nidus worm, because he does not have any detection anywhere. Like we said, and he still isn't using these probes here.
So basically what we summed up in this match is always produce. Don't have too many gateways or barracks or anything like that to produce. Always use your larvae, like stuff like that. Always macro. Macro is more important. And just macro. Macro is the main key to the lower levels of the game.
Exactly. If you macro better than your opponent, you will win probably 90% of the time. Taking your expansion after attack, also a very good thing. So
you see Day 9 preaching that so much.
So that's our cast, our first cast. So definitely comment on what you think. And I'm Hybrid.
And I'm Flo and Deb.
And we'll see you next time.